Hi, it's Jo, and today I'm going to be watching Motherland Fort Salem, Season 2, Episode 5, Brianna's Favourite Pencil, which is another very strange title. This season has been phenomenal. It's been even better than Season 1, and I fell in love with Season 1 so quickly. Really sorry this reaction is up late, but it has been ridiculously hot in the UK. We've been having the heat wave from hell, and it has actually been too hot for me to be up in this room. I've had to be downstairs most of the day. And finally, I have a fan that hopefully is quiet enough that you don't hear it too much. It's my old fan used to make it was a really old one, it would make a big clunky noise, and I'm able to sit up here to react, and I've been desperate to watch this episode, so thank you for being patient. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go find out what this pencil is all about. I'm ready. This is not what I was ready for, unless Alder has taken Tally on a train trip.
My sister's trying to say is that we know how militarized nations work.
Yes.
Do I seem naive, General Shama?
No. They're gonna get attacked. Why do I feel like they're going to get attacked and it's going to be Alder behind it to try and convince Cleaver to come home? Oh! Oh no, both of them? I don't think Alder would risk that herself. I think that probably is the Camarilla, who I still want to call the Calamari. Which carriage are they on? Are they okay? I mean, I don't think this show is going to kill them, but are they okay? Oh, Tally, you're brave and reckless.
Sit. I just wanted answers. And what makes you think you are owed anything?
She's been having your dreams. Yes.
Time has passed.
Oh no, it hasn't.
Then why have I been seeing these memories?
Oh god.
Surgery, I thought they were dreams at
I'll have
first.
Isadora give you something to make sure that the connection.
Alder. At least she hasn't, like, arrested her or anything. You know what her unit went through today, what she's been through. And she is shaken.
So long as it benefits the military, and in this case, it does. Doesn't matter. Is that as much of an answer as you're gonna give me? That's as much as I can guess.
Raelle.
Said more than I should, actually.
Scilla hurt her a lot.
Did she get this?
You think, like, did she go home to my dad?
The Camarilla are picking us
I'm
off.
not here for the Camarilla.
Oof.
I'm here to change things so that our people can stop fighting.
Okay. Yeah, but if you're all dead, is that going to help? Like, for right now, the Camarilla is a bigger threat than the army. Because if you change things within the army, you're just going to make witches more vulnerable in the short term.
There are things worth dying for.
Raelle is one of them. I do like that Raelle's mother is choosing to fight the Camarilla rather than their original mission, but... Oh, Abby.
They came after me just like they did Charlotte.
Be there for your daughter, please. Yes, thank you.
Except you survived.
Maybe I shouldn't have.
Oh no, Abigail, I'll never think that.
Excuse me?
Because you weren't stupid enough to walk into their trap.
You were in an emotionally vulnerable place, sweetheart. Go after her, don't just let her walk away. Giving her space is good, but be there for her as well.
We can kneel backwards in complete silence. Dessert first. Black chairs.
Tally is very excited.
As if
No, I was talking about India.
She doesn't know. Of course she doesn't know. How does he know?
Sorry, if I could hurt.
He's okay, because they're not going to kill him off.
There was a
Abs. Abigail.
This is the last thing she needs.
Never gonna stop.
Abigail.
Public blame on the Camarilla.
So it's out.
So much for the Hague. He's postponing our testing center rollouts until further notice.
Because he's the head of
Apparently
Camarilla.
some states are. Ivy briefed President Wade about what happened in India. Apparently, she's still under the weather.
They've taken her out because Alder controls her.
Mom, I'm gonna take Brianna trick-or-treating.
Does he not like her to go to the party? Dad can't do duties.
Only one block, okay?
He's so controlling.
Shall we?
It's really weird going to a party with just your friend's husband. Abigail, you are amazing. Oh,
Won't you?
my poor girl's been through too much.
Let's go. Abigail never tells her.
I'm fine.
You're not, and that's okay.
I've been attacked by the Camarilla twice.
You're not
They
fine, and
killed
that's
General
okay.
Sherman and possibly a Dylan Kalita, so maybe we should both come home with you for break.
We'd like to. It would be fun
You
to be
won't
together.
safe there.
Oh, oh, they love each other so much.
And tonight, we wake the dead, as our ancestors have done, desperate to extinguish the flame. It's our job to stop them and keep the fire burning until the last stroke of midnight.
Well, this sounds fun.
What happens?
I'm very sad for the souls of these dead witches that they just have to do this endlessly.
We can't use any work. Then we'll improvise.
That was very obvious, Scilla. Oh, so yeah. If what you're doing is so noble and good, do you need masks?
I need answers. You better to ask them.
Oh, Tally.
Who were there? I need to talk to my mom.
Oh, she won't be there, my darling.
Needed anything more.
If her mother was really dead, Raelle would deserve this more than anyone. Fort Salem is never one to leave you bored.
I've asked the staff to arrive a little bit later tonight so that we can start
Oh,
this
God.
party with a bang.
Oh! He sacrificed himself for Tally. Is this Tiffany?
World, some of that evil. Tonight,
Are you serious?
the witch.
Save this child right now.
When I do get the girl and get out.
Yes, I don't care about this mission, we save this child. Are they gonna notice that I'm stressed? But I don't care, it's worth it for the baby. How can you be standing here? She is a child. That's my girl. Oh Christ. Did we do it just in time?
Goddess, I
I know you.
They made him forget.
We've met once.
Come on, Anna Costia! Yes, yes, yes! What are they gonna do to her? She's just a baby.
Plenty to go around.
What the fuck? These people. I don't even care if you hate witches. It's not even like this would be a barrack if it was an adult, let alone a baby.
Stop.
Oh,
Take me, not her.
oh my goodness, Scilla.
Do that.
I'm a witch.
Oh, Scilla.
Justine, what are you doing?
Would she help?
Name is not Justine.
Would she help a human baby? But I love her.
She's talking about.
Unlike her, your vocal cords are perfectly ripe for harvest.
Good job. I mean, they've given up, but I don't care. Oh.
Trick or treat.
I love her. I do. I do think she is remorseful for what she did, and ooh, I have thought that they, you know, a little spark here and there, but it seems to be sparking tonight. Raelle, you're going to be very disappointed, but that might remind her and make her realise her mum's alive.
So Libby said hi.
Give her my best.
Oh, bless.
Let me get started.
Overwhelming. And she's going to be so disappointed. Their love for each other, I love it so much. Tally, you couldn't have picked a creepier place. Why is it a spider? Oh, Raelle. What happened? Shouldn't the spider turn around and be like, not there? Ooh. Holy crap, that is terrifying. Especially within Tally's case, she doesn't even know the woman.
You're a failure.
What? The fuck?
I know.
You failed me.
Thank you.
You failed yourself.
Oh, what? Tough love and the bell of the line, I suppose. Oh, sweetheart. She's not dead, my darling. Oh, good God. She just wants to know the truth. She's actually asking, so tell her, please. Or is she gonna show her? Oh my goodness.
I was
soldier. I can only do what I'm told.
I thought that too. Then I got murdered.
Oh. The spree. That's what the spree do. She knows the truth.
What are you saying?
You are Abigail Boone.
Yes, Charbel.
And you are vengeance.
You can't be brave without fear, Abigail. Being afraid doesn't mean you're not brave or brilliant. Raelle. Go to Tally and Abigail right now.
Why didn't she want to talk to me? I don't know.
She would have come, wouldn't she, my love?
I need to find the people who took her voice and get it back in bathe in their blood.
Very intense.
How would you even find them?
This is Abigail. She's got her spark back. And her belief that she can, which is what we needed. I love Tally's awkward wave. Is Khalida okay? Oh, I'm glad he's okay. Oh.
But she could tell how much I needed to see you.
Oh. Thank
I'm
goodness.
so glad you're here.
Abigail deserves some goodness in her
I haven't
life.
stopped shaking since India.
Hey.
Being hunted gives you a unique perspective on survival.
He'll help her take down the Camarilla.
Time to make them feel hunted.
I mean, yes, but bring in Tally and Raelle, and maybe we could bring the rest of the army, even tell Alder about this time. Is that Scilla? Yeah, I thought he was going to be stabbed with Brianna's favourite pencil. Well, he was a vile man. Their daughter probably would be better off in the long run. And their covers were blown. Don't know if the army's going to agree with this though. And not the witches, not our daughters, indeed.
Find something to live for. Something that's beautiful and real.
At heart, Scilla is a good person. She just needs to do less murdering of innocents. That guy wasn't innocent, but he deserved prison. Okay, so it was another good episode. I don't think it was like the best one of the season so far, but it was a good episode. That was probably Scylla's most acceptable murder to date, although, you know, because I don't know how much he could have gone to prison right now for what he did, and plus they were going to torture a little girl, if not murder her. God knows how long they've been keeping her captive for as well, and what else they've done to her. I hope she's safe now. Tiffany being safe is now an unborn. I actually need confirmation of that at some point. I'm guessing Anacostia took her, so she'll maybe be taken to be with like the other young kids they have, but she'll be very traumatized. I love Anacostia and Scilla for immediately, the second they saw Tiffany abandoning the plan, giving up their covers, not even caring, they knew they had to save that girl, because that is what differentiates you from being a good person and being a bad person. Because, you know, you could say, oh, well, you know, that's just one life compared with all the ones we're going to save, and that, yeah, that is a potential argument, but who are you if you can let a child die? Who are you if you can let one person die when you could save them and then find another way? I really enjoyed Scilla offering herself in her place, because obviously, yes, she knew Anacostia was going to flip the switch and make it so that she could use her magic. She knew that she was trusting Anacostia to do it, but she did know that there was a chance that Anacostia would have been stopped or wouldn't have been able to find the switch or whatever, and that she might be taken, might be captured. But she was willing to risk it, even if she thought she was trusting Anacostia, which also shows growth because she's trusting Anacostia. She was willing to risk it for that child, who I hope is going to be okay. My main thing with Scilla, as I've said many times, is I do believe she has a good heart. I do believe she is deep down a good person. I think she was a very vulnerable young girl whose parents didn't believe in being conscripted. They got murdered by the army to prove a point. She was very someone that was very susceptible to being radicalized towards the spree. Because the spree's aims, the spree's goal of stopping conscription, I would sign a petition for, I would march on the street for, I would agree with. But I would not agree with murdering people to get the goal. Becoming a terrorist to get your goal invalidates every single one of your arguments, means that at any time anyone were to actually, sane person were to be like, maybe we should stop conscription, they'd go, oh, you remember the spree? It's ridiculous. But Scilla, I think, was very young, because clearly you joined Fort Salem in your, like 18. I imagine she was recruited by the spree much earlier than that, so she was a child who was recruited. From what we gather, she's done one atrocity. One's okay, which isn't okay at all, but I hope, I mean, we saw her remorse that she feels, and had she said, no, I'm not doing it, they would have done it anyway. We would have still even happened that day had she tried to refuse, so it's not as though it could have been stopped. Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it okay, but it's kind of in her favour. I think if she continues to do good, to make good choices, to risk her life for those more vulnerable than her, for me, the biggest sign of whether or not I can be happy about the concept of her potentially being with Raelle in the future will be if it comes to saving a human life. I did like the fact that she, you know, she killed the husband, but she tried to kind of give Bonnie a pep talk to make better choices in her life. Which kind of shows caring about human people, which might be that we're on the right track. But, I mean, Raelle's mother is the one I blame most of all, as she seems to be the person who, like, recruited Scilla, is, I don't know, there's a lot to go on with that. So there's sort of more hope for Scilla this episode. And Kostya is awesome as ever, instantly willing to save that child. And I love that she's also trusting Scilla, that she has been able to look at Scilla, and she saw that potential for goodness, the same sort of pain Anne Kostya feels, and she's able to trust her, which I love. So now we have the beginning, the train incident in India. So that's one of the generals, one of the heads of the witch armies, nations, gone. Who's going to replace them? Are they going to get on with Alder? Are they going to push up against her a bit more? The Camarilla has gone public because India said the truth. They said it was an attack by the Camarilla. I am so thankful that both Adil and Khalida survived. I kind of thought they would, especially because we saw them running away. I didn't think that would be the end of Adil and Abigail's story, and I definitely didn't think that would be the last we see of Khalida. But it was very stressful, and sort of the trauma they've gone through. And in some ways it's quite heartbreaking that he and Abigail are able to bond so much over their shared trauma, but it's also nice to know that someone else understands you. Abigail, this episode, at the beginning when you kind of see that she just thinks she's a failure, that she gave in and she shouldn't have listened, and, you know, yeah, it was stupid to go towards the sound of Charvelle's voice, you know, she's dead, but at the end of the day, she was already in an emotional state, she was in an insecure and vulnerable state because of other things that were going on. And then that moment's relief of maybe I can have my loved one. Now, if they had managed to synthesize Raelle's mother's voice, I think Raelle might have gone too. I wish she'd taken someone with her, but she just wasn't thinking. She just needed it. And I think were that to happen today, fresh, she would not make the same choice. They happened to get lucky and find her in a vulnerable state. Or they have someone on the inside who was able to tell them, oh yeah, she's in a vulnerable state. I don't know how that would work. For her to she really gave up in a lot of ways this episode. But what I love is that it wasn't like she didn't take it out on Tally or Raelle at any point. Very much, I think, season 1, Abigail, even maybe the others, would have potentially snapped at them and been like, gosh, go away, I don't need you. Whereas when they offered to go with her, her response wasn't, I don't need you to come with me, I'm fine. It was, well, no, you wouldn't be safe if you were with me. I can't ever keep you safe. The war's never going to end. You're going to die in the battle. And that is something that is so true. They've grown up knowing that they were going to fight in a war. There are terrorists running around, being spree and killing everyone. So many witches have died. I would be terrified every second of every day that was going to happen to me or to someone else I cared about. But I think what makes you brave isn't not having fear. If you just don't have any fear, you're not really brave, because you're not being brave about anything, because you're not concerned. You have to have fear to be brave, and Abigail is extraordinarily brave and extraordinarily powerful. She would have successfully fought off the Camarilla after she destroyed their soundbox things, but her vocal cords were damaged. So she is strong, and she has to remind herself that she's not weak. I think it all started with the death of Charvelle, kind of shaking her faith and everything, but seeing kind of Tally excel and having that connection with Alder and Raelle, she really was starting to doubt herself. And I'm glad that Charvelle was able to push that out of her and kind of say the only failing you've done is yourself. You are strong, you are Abigail Bellwether, you are vengeance. Now, that's not necessarily the healthiest path to put her on, like, yeah, you know what, you're great because you're going to get me vengeance. But I can understand why maybe Charvelle would want that. It's just, my heart breaks for her, but what I loved was seeing the fire in her eyes again. The spark is back. She has something that she is focusing on, but it also very much scares me. It scares me like it did when she decided she was going to go make her own working, just like her ancestor had done, because that is dangerous, as we see. It had bad side effects for her. But this going up against the Camarilla alone is very dangerous. Now, if she's able to find one of them one-on-one, that Camarilla is toast. But I'm scared because you never know what they have in store, what tricks they have, what if they, like, it's just a dangerous thing for her to do on her own, especially because were she to get into trouble, and we know where she was, I think she's going to be bringing Adil along, which is good because they both could do with backup if they do any shenanigans like this. But if she's able to track down the Camarilla that killed Raelle, she should inform the army and they should all go after them. It shouldn't be a one-woman mission. And I'm stressed about what Abigail's going to do, because while I'm so happy she's got that spark back, I think she's still in the process of fully finding herself and being comfortable with herself, because needing vengeance doesn't mean she's cool with being just Abigail, because Abigail Bellwether is epic and awesome and I love her. Moving on to Raelle, because we've already kind of touched her mother a little bit. Just all episodes, the minute they started talking about how they were going to see a loved one, I was bracing myself for the moment when her mother didn't come. And you would just think, why doesn't my mum love me? Why didn't she come? When, of course she would have come. She would have been there in a heartbeat if your mum was really dead. I do think that this, combined with the picture and wondering where Scilla got it, especially when her dad's like, oh, your mum took that picture with her on the last deployment or something, I don't know, will be the thing that will start sparking Raelle's, is my mum alive? Is she out there? I don't know, really. I didn't know if that was necessarily going to happen, and it still might not. Maybe she'll find some other explanation for it. But it's just so interesting and heartbreaking, seeing her there waiting while the candle burnt down. I mean, she just sat there for such a long time waiting for her mum, and she never came. And of all three of them, she's the one that most deserved to see the person she wanted to see. Now, obviously, her mum's not dead, that's why. And for her sake, I hope she doesn't, I hope it's not a case of she sees her mum and she just forgives her, because A, her mum is a mass murdering terrorist, and B, she left her, she walked out on her and her father. Whatever her reasons were, I need to go be a mass murdering terrorist daughter, goodbye. So I hope she stays firm with her own beliefs, but at the same time, it's just so heartbreaking for her to find out that her mum isn't dead, she just chose not to be with her. Whatever her reasons are, that's the end of the day. Her mum isn't dead, she just chose to go be a terrorist instead of being her mother. It's heartbreaking. And it's not even like she came and got Raelle right before the conscription or something. I know she then sent Scilla to go and try and get her and all those shenanigans that she was doing. But if she left because she didn't want to be in the army anymore and she wanted to go to the spree, she could have found a way to go to the session when Raelle was there and take her, you know, bring her and her dad to the spree, rather than letting them run loose. I don't know. I feel like if she really cared, she could have done a lot more. I guess she wanted Raelle out of the fight as long as she could. But Raelle has got so many, I mean, we're seeing Abigail right now in the midst of her emotional sort of traumas and trying to work out who she really is and how powerful she is, because she is epically powerful. And then right now Raelle is, last season we had her teacher, we were waiting for the inevitable time when the other shoe would drop and she would find out Scilla was spree. Now we are waiting for the other shoe to drop and find out her mother is spree and alive. I'm so scared for what's going to happen when she finds that out. I love the fact that these girls are there for each other no matter what, that they look out for each other, that they were both going to go with Abigail, but Abigail's kind of got her shit together, and now Tally's going to go with Raelle. I love that. Tally's mother will probably be quite upset, but it's fine. My heart just breaks for Raelle, and I think she's going to go through, and how it's all going to shape out next episode. So Tally, she was very reckless storming up to Alda. I mean, I loved it. I loved seeing the anger she had at Alda's ways, because we all have some of that anger. I love seeing the way she was so angry because Abigail was hurt, she wanted to protect her sisters, but it was a reckless thing to do. Alda could have been like, treason, you're arrested, or damn, you're dead. It's lucky that Alda has some vague sense of right and wrong, and that she was able to kind of give some wishy-washy explanation for it, and sever the link forever, which is good, because Tally was having very stressful dreams and waking up with wounds, and all sorts of things could have happened. Now, God knows what Alda has been through in her life. I'm hoping that that truly is severed, but I could also see maybe it isn't going to be severed going forwards. But Tally is not, A, she's not stupid, and B, while she's naive in some ways, or at least she definitely was when we first met her, she has grown a lot the hard way, but she has learned a lot about the world, and I love that the person she chose to see was not like her grandmother or her aunt or anything. It was the leader of the resistance in Liberia, and she got her answers from a very angry woman who I understand why she would be very angry. It was Tally has seen that they use the spree device, and she's also seen that Nicta created the work, and then Nicta was furious with Alda for using her work in this way. I guess she didn't like it being used against people that had surrendered. She was called at being people fighting them, which I suppose makes sense. I believe Tally has fully put together all the pieces of the origin of this spree. I believe it is that Nicta deserted the army and started the spree against Alda and her ways, killing innocent people. I don't really understand why. Part of me still wonders whether she like killed Nicta or something, or Nicta is out there somewhere hiding, and Alda started the spree to make it so that there was a reason to keep the witches around or something. But I don't know if Alda's that twisted, but maybe she is. But Tally is yet again in a position of danger because she knows the big secret Alda doesn't want her to. She's already known one, but Alda was able to kind of be like, oh yeah, I didn't want that to get out and I didn't want this to get out. It's very stressful. Tally is in a very stressful position with this information. But she is such a good person with such a true heart that she will never stop trying to get at the truth. I'm just scared about what Alda might do if she finds out Tally knows too much. Also, I had thought over the last couple of episodes there was a little bit of a spark between Tally and Gregorio, and I wasn't sure whether it was just the actors having chemistry and it was nothing that was being written, but the fact that during the really epic Salem battle, he jumped in front of her, took the arrow for her, and then when she helped him up at that moment, he seems like a good guy. I like him a lot. I think he could give Tally after Garrett, and it would take him off Abigail's list, so maybe that would help her too. And in the future, if they wanted to, they could have babies that would help the lines carry on and make the Imperatrix lady happy. But, you know, when they both were ready, if they should want to do that, I don't know. It's all very messed up. This show is fantastic as always. I'm so sorry it is up so late. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. You can find the unedited version on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.